You weren't born to blend in. You weren't made to be background noise. But somewhere between growing up and giving in, you started believing the lie. That you're just another one, another face, another voice, another story not worth hearing. But here's the truth no one shouted loud enough for you to remember. You've been extraordinary since day one, not because of what you do, but because of what you carry. The way you feel so deeply it hurts. The way you notice things others overlook. The way your heart bends and somehow still doesn't break. You were the one who stayed up wondering why people hurt. You were the one who gave even when your hands were empty. You were the one who kept going when quitting would have made more sense. And yet, you forgot. Not all at once. Not with a bang, but slowly. With every, "You're too much." Every, "Why are you like this?" Every time someone asked you to be smaller so they could feel bigger. Piece by piece, you traded authenticity for acceptance. Traded wonder for routine. Dreams for duties. Voice for volume that made others comfortable. You became a shell of someone you barely recognized. A mirror reflecting what the world wanted instead of what your soul screamed to be. But listen closely. You can feel it, can't you? That flicker, that whisper, that ache that refuses to die. It's your real self, still in there, still breathing, still waiting. Waiting for you to stop shrinking. Waiting for you to stop apologizing for existing. Waiting for you to remember that you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to shift the room. And I know you're tired. Tired of trying. Tired of failing. Tired of caring so much in a world that seems to care so little. But let me tell you something that changed my life. Your sensitivity, it's not a weakness. It's your superpower. Your softness, it's not a flaw. It's your edge in a world hardened by pretending. The world doesn't need louder noise. It needs clearer hearts. And yours has been waiting to be heard. You weren't born for the sidelines. You weren't designed to just survive. You were made to wake the world up. With your fire, with your truth, with that relentless, aching, undeniable voice that refuses to go silent. So maybe it's time to stop hiding. Maybe it's time you believed in your story the way others believe in their masks. Maybe it's time you returned to yourself. You've been taught to be realistic, to stay in line, to follow the rules and shrink your dreams to fit the boxes built by people with no imagination. You've been handed scripts, not truths, taught to say what's polite, not what's powerful, trained to survive, not to soar. But deep down, a piece of you always knew. You were never meant to blend in. You were built for impact. Look back, not at your mistakes, but at your resilience. The way you rose from disappointments that should have wrecked you. The way you kept loving even after being let down. The way you stayed kind in a world that sometimes feels cold. That's not weakness, that's warrior strength. But you forgot to celebrate that. You focused on your scars instead of your survival. You stared at the closed doors and missed the strength it took to knock in the first place. And maybe, just maybe, you've been waiting for permission. To speak, to shine, to be. But here's the thing. No one is coming to hand you that permission slip. You have to write it yourself. You have to say, I am allowed to take up space. I am allowed to speak even if my voice shakes. I am allowed to want more, need more, be more. Because you were made for more. More than the job that drains you. More than the circles that silence you. More than the cage of other people's comfort. You weren't born to play roles in someone else's story. You're the author, the narrator, the storm and the calm after it. You're not here to mimic what's already been done. You're here to create what's never been imagined. So speak like someone who matters, because you do. Move like your presence shifts the ground, because it does. Stop apologizing for breathing, for trying, for feeling too much. Your light doesn't have to be earned. It already is. And no, not everyone will understand you. That's not a problem. That's proof you're not a copy. You're an original. You're going to make people uncomfortable. Good. You're going to challenge the narrative. Good. You're going to stand tall when others bow down. Excellent. That's how revolutions start. Not with noise, but with someone who finally decides they've had enough of shrinking. And maybe today, That someone is you. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're different. They'll say you're not the same anymore. And they'll be right. Because you're not meant to stay the same. You're meant to evolve, to shed the skin of the past, to become everything you used to dream about when no one was watching. Growth looks like breaking your own patterns. It looks like unlearning what broke you. Like walking away from what once felt like home, but now feels like a prison. And yes, it's scary. Because becoming new means letting go of who you've always been. It means standing in the unknown before the clarity comes. It means walking forward before you feel ready. But you're ready now, not because you've figured everything out, but because you've finally stopped waiting to be perfect before you begin. You're not here to repeat. You're here to reinvent. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be real. And real doesn't always look polished. Real is messy, raw, awkward, loud when it needs to be, silent when words aren't enough. You don't owe anyone your silence anymore. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing your peace over their expectations. Let them call you selfish. Let them misunderstand. Let them whisper when you stop performing. You didn't come here to live for their comfort. You came here to feel alive. So make mistakes, big ones, loud ones, the kind that teach you, stretch you, shape you. Say the wrong thing, then learn the right way. Fall flat, then rise again with more fire. Because this life, it isn't a show, it's a story, and you're writing it in real time. So write boldly, speak clearly, choose wildly. And when you doubt if you're enough, remember, you were never supposed to be small. Your voice was made to rise above the noise. Your truth was made to bend walls. Your presence was made to shake comfort zones. You're not a background character. You are the plot twist, the storm, the redemption arc. And the best part? You're just getting started.